Good morning, friends. John Rocky with my smart team at Exit Realty First. Today's presentation is going to be Ben and I doing an interview in BNI. And BNI is being done by Zoom meetings. And today we had 108% attendance at the meeting. So listen in, enjoy, and if you have any questions about anything that Ben or I have said during that time, please reach out and let us know. I wanted to do my BNI presentation just a little bit different today, and I've invited Ben, my business partner, to be involved in this with me, and I kind of prepared a couple of questions for Ben to share with me and let me respond to, and I think that'll give you a little bit of insight into who we are and where we are taking this this company within the company, my smart team at Exit Realty First. So
we had 5 questions, but now we're only going to ask 1 because John's 10-minute was half introduction, because he's done so much and been around for not so long, an appropriate amount of time. Anyway, John, I think I know the answer to this, but who are some of your favorite clients to work with?
the ones I'm working with right now,
Right.
those are my favorite clients.
Yeah.
So you are no longer my favorite client.
Man, as of yesterday.
As
it
of
used
yesterday.
to be. Shoot.
He was right up there at the top. So Ben was a client. We put his house in the market, and to kind of keep a little bit of conflict of interest out, he had me be the listing agent on it. And we had kind of a rough go with not Ben's house, but with the buyers on the house. So what we're finding right now is the market is just a little bit strange, odd, weird. I don't know if there's any other kind of descriptive thing I can give to it. Maybe troublesome. The environment for buyers is really quite odd. In the last case of Ben's deal, actually Ben had 2 offers on his house. First one fell through because the buyer's significant other walked away. He couldn't afford the house, so we walked away. So we now found another buyer, and it was going to be a VA loan. When I got the offer, I called the buyer's agent and said, I don't want to accept this offer with this lender. I want you to use a local lender. And this buyer's agent suggested another lender, and I said, I really want you to consider Mike Archer. Mike Archer does these in his sleep, in the dark, backwards, and gets it done.
Upside down.
Upside down, yeah, thanks for adding that.
Yeah.
So what happened on that was we should have closed 3 weeks ago. We kept getting delay after delay. And to make matters worse, and this is one of the things I did not tell Ben, he said keep the turn signal on. There was a potential that the buyer was going to walk away from this deal as of last Thursday, because the lender flipped them from a VA loan without their knowledge to a conventional loan and had some absolutely ridiculous requirements and rates on it. As it ends up turning out, Mike Archer will appreciate this, they received a 0 down conventional loan, totally unheard of in the industry. So I've talked to some other agents, one who has 43 years of experience. He said, I've never ever heard of a 0 down conventional. So like I say, the market is really weird. So truly the answer to the question is, who are my favorite clients? It's who I'm working with right now. Both buyers and sellers, we love to serve our clients, and we love to do that with excellence and do it well.
Yeah, absolutely. You've been in real estate for 16 years.
17.
Right? 17?
17 years.
Man.
And I started out a year before that as an unlicensed assistant to
Yeah.
an agent here in town.
Wow, 17 years. It's like half of my lifetime. Over half of my
It's
lifetime.
over half
Yeah.
of his lifetime. That's one thing I've noticed.
yeah.
When we do our weekly Facebook posts, I notice how young Ben looks and how old I look, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh my word. So
Yeah, well, you look
we have a
twice your
succession
age.
plan.
Just kidding.
We have a succession plan in place, so anyway, it's a good thing.
In that time, what changes have you seen in the industry?
Well, the changes in the industry are enormous. The first big change that had happened just before I came into the industry was they did away with, well, didn't do away with it, they continued for a while, but they would publish a book every other week with all of the listings in it, and you had to look through the book to find information for buyers and sellers. It was incredible. And we had just gone to a digital online multiple list service, and shortly after that came electronic lock boxes. Before that time, like I said, I came in just after those two things happened. The realtor that was showing somebody else's listing had to go to the other office, pick up the set of keys, go show the house, return the keys back to that office. So it was a time saver in that aspect of doing things. The next big change for what we do is paperless documentation, and as far as we know, I was the very first person to use dotloop. It wasn't the first system out there. DocuSign was one of the first systems out there, but I was the first person to adopt dotloop in Michigan, and certainly within the Exit Realty family. I started using dotloop in November of 2012. Absolutely love the system. It helps to prevent duplication and having to do some things. And as Ben knows, we already do a lot of duplication of work and effort just to get stuff done. But the other big change is that lending requirements change.
Yeah.
FHA has gone through a number of iterations just since I've been in the business. When I started in the business, you had to have a handrail, you couldn't have a broken glass, you couldn't have carpeting that was bare. They wanted a safe environment for people. So one of the big changes was the requirement for a handrail, and I remember this because it was your parents' house where I first met Ben when he was a freshman or sophomore in high school. As long as you had walls, you didn't have to have a handrail. Well, now that we've gone back, now the handrails came back into place. Then they changed the way the handrails have to be mounted. They have to, maybe I can use a picture sometime, but they have to terminate into the wall.
Right.
They can't be open on the end, so you can't catch a sleeve or a shirt tail on the handrail and fall up or down the steps. So it eliminates a trip hazard. So there are things like that.
You described this already, but the last thing we wanted to talk about was the value of working with a local partner. I think you described that a little bit as you talked about my deal, but one thing, I don't know if I can talk, it's your 10-minute, but
I'll let you talk.
What I'm seeing is that experienced lenders are able to handle the volume that we have right now. Inexperienced lenders are not, and they make mistakes, and that's part of the contributing factor to the market being so crazy right now for buyers.
It's absolutely critical to use local providers. Use guys like Doug Halstead, Doug Warren, Brent Bashinsky, Mike Archer. Use people who are local so that they know the market, they understand what needs to be done, the timing, they have relationships with multiple appraisers, and when it's possible, as a listing agent, I try to, if I get an appraiser that's from out of the area, I let the lender know, get a hold of the appraisal management company, tell them I don't want that appraiser, or I just don't approve it, and then I let them know that we need a different appraiser. Appraisers that don't have local knowledge can really mess up a deal. That's the kind of thing that I just want to say is use local people. If you have a question about the real estate market, get a hold of Ben and I. We would love to have the opportunity of sitting down with you. A good referral are people who will do what we tell them to do. I got a text last night from some friends on the east side of town that said we are prepared to move ahead with selling our home, and Ben is doing something that realtors typically don't do. He's going to send a letter to everyone in a particular association and say, we have a buyer, are you willing to sell? And I'll be working with our team to get them through the process of having that house listed and ready to go so that we maximize their price, minimize their time on the market, and make this a smooth, successful venture for them so that they are not having a lot of stress. Moving is not easy, and when you throw other things in on top of that, it becomes a lot more stressful. So we do what we can to put a good plan in place and help people follow the plan and make it a successful venture. We want to provide exceptional service.
Mhm.
So thank you very, very much. Appreciate that. Have a great day.